relying on the nice guy, or he seemed understanding, that's not going to protect you when things on your project go sideways. The part that destroys projects, and I mean really destroys them long before anything goes into them, kitchens, the dream bathroom, anything, is not having clarity and not having expectations aligned. When an agreement is rushed or vague based on assumptions instead of the facts, when no one understands what's included and what isn't, how changes are to be handled, what decisions need to be made, and what maybe can be made once the project starts, you're going to be in some real trouble here. And that's why at MGB, we have the contract and it's part of our process. And we make sure that it's from the very, very beginning of our meetings with clients. Hey everyone, I'm Mike from MGB Building Group. Today, obviously we're not on a job site and there's no sawdust. There's no beautiful pictures in behind me here that we can show off today. We're sitting in the office, and this is where we create a lot of our process with the team. I don't want to talk about something really important today. It's probably going to be a little boring and not exciting for a lot of people, but it's the contract, the scope of work, how those align, and what expectations are obviously given with those contracts and all of those things as well. It builds the schedule, the budget, and all of this needs to be done before we start the project. And the contract's a huge part of that. So just let me walk you through how we align all those things, how we handle changes. Change orders, super stressful, causes a lot of confusion and frustration on the site. So let's walk through and break down the best practice processes on how to do those things. One thing I always tell our clients is the contract's not there to protect us as builders. It's not there to protect you. It's there to protect our relationship, and it's there so that we have understanding and clear expectations right from day one of the project there. If you don't want the stress, you don't want delays, you don't want budget issues, you got to sit down and you have to put words to paper on the computer, however it's done now. And you really need to make sure things align, okay? We don't want people assuming, this is included, that wasn't included. It's gonna happen, and these assumptions are gonna cause a lot of chaos and a lot of problems as we go through the project, So, we're not trying to slow anything down, but we are trying to protect everybody to make sure you understand what you're signing for is what you're paying for and what you expect to get. Every build we start with, it starts with clarity, and that clarity begins with our commitment to construct contract. So before we ever get to demo, framing, any of our finishes, before any of the trades show up on the job site, we like to start with a simple document we call the commitment to construct. And don't worry, it's not a 200-page legal document. This is our handshake at the beginning of the project, which most people forget about, but it's what locks your project into our schedule, and our team can start working on these things. It signals our trades, suppliers, design professionals, our in-house project management to start mobilizing and working through the details of your pre-construction for your project there. And we know it's not the part you're going to see on Instagram or any of the other social media platforms there, but pre-construction is where all of your real decisions are made, where your drawings get tightened up and aligned, the engineering, mechanical, all finalized, plumbing, millwork, window selections. We want every detail of your home to be reviewed, adjusted, and priced. And then we're going through your drawings with, a magnifying glass, not a real magnifying glass, but we are checking everything, lead time, structural details. We're talking to suppliers, engineers, architects. We're making sure that we understand exactly what you want and how to build it before anyone touches anything on the job site. And this is where budgets become real. We have real quotes in from suppliers, trades. It's not just guesstimates. And this is where we're eliminating surprises earlier. And we want to finalize all decisions, document it, price it. And that's, we've gone through all of this. Then we're ready for that big 200-page detailed document. And the reason this one's so large, it's the entire scope of work, full budget, construction schedules, all your allowances, architectural drawings, structural drawings, your permits, your interior design, Absolutely everything is part of that 200-page document, and that's our big construction document. So reach out for a consultation now if you're planning a renovation or a new build and you want clarity from day one, real clarity, not vague promises. Reach out to us at MGB and we'll walk you through this entire system, show you how we document everything, and make sure you know exactly what you're getting into before the project hits the ground. That's how you protect your investment, and it gives you peace of mind. Click the link below to schedule a consultation with us. Now let's talk about the part that scares people the most. I know, it's the change orders. This is the part where a lot of projects go sideways. Clients change their minds, that's no big deal. It's, not because anything unexpected pops up, but it's just part of it. We're gonna have changes. And projects fall apart when changes aren't documented. I've seen it over and over again. Homeowners ask for the little thing, builder just does it, or builder sees something on the job site and they just do it without explaining cost, time frame, the ripple effect down the line with the trades. And by the end of 3 or 4 months of doing this, you're getting a huge invoice. No clarity, no direction, no information on why the time was added. So at MGB, if you ask for that, we stop the project, we price it, we explain it to you, we walk it through, you approve it in writing, we get right back to work as soon as it's approved. If we discover something, structural, mechanical, electrical, soil condition, whatever it is, process is the same. We don't hide it, we're not guessing, and we don't just handle it. We document it, we explain it, and we let you make the decision. No signature from you. Unfortunately, there's no work from us, but it allows us to have no misunderstandings. And this is why our projects run the way they do. This is why clients trust us, because you're never gonna wake up to a surprise and worst of all, a massive invoice or bill that you need to pay. I have tons of stories about changes that went wrong, sideways, you name it, but I'm gonna tell you about one, and it shows why our systems work. We're renovating a home in Midtown, full potential. During the demo, we open up the walls, some structural issues that weren't shown on the drawings, of course. It's a reno, it happens. So while we were investigating, we look at it and we are able to document it, and we send all of that information to the client. We tell them we need to contact the engineer. Of course, we contact the engineer. They come out to site, we change the drawings, we figure out the safest, most cost-efficient solution, and we hand that one over to the client. And that's, proper change order. The clients understood exactly what was happening and why. No guessing, no surprises, no stress. They approved it the same day. Project moved on without any delay. And this is what happens when your contract is right and when the process is right. The unexpected, it's manageable because the process was expected from your builder in the first place. I know I'm on repeat and you've heard me say this before, but I'm gonna say it again. A great project is built long before construction starts on the site. So if you're planning a renovation or a custom home, here's what I want you to take from this. First, slow down. Sign the commitment to construct, the pre-construction, the budgeting, the drawings. These aren't roadblocks, they're road maps. When people rush in this part, they end up paying for it 10 times over during construction. But when they slow down, when they make decisions early, when they understand the cost, the scope clearly, the build becomes effortless. Second, understand change is normal, but it's only normal if you know that it's coming and you document it. You're going to want to adjust something, that's fine, but the change order process is there to protect you, and it keeps everyone on the site aligned. It prevents the "we thought this was included" battle. A documented change order is clean. It's very just easy to understand, and it's so easy if you follow it. But it can go so wrong if you don't. And finally, ask your builder to show you their system when you hire them. A contract might not be enough. You need to know how updates happen, how communication flows, budgets are tracked, how changes are handled, and how decisions get made. If they can't show you this system, they don't have one. They're not just too lazy, okay? And trust me, you don't want to take on the job of micromanaging your build. Contracts aren't the sexy, exciting part of construction. They don't make the great photos. You're never going to see them on people's websites. and they're never going to get 2 million views on the reel, but they are the foundation of what matters: your budget, your timeline, expectations, the trust that holds your entire project together. At MGB, the commitment to construct is where our partnership begins. Pre-construction, that's where your vision becomes a plan. And the construction contract is where everything gets defined and protected. And the change order system, that's what keeps your project running smoothly when we're on the job sites. It's clarity, communication, and trust. And when you start with that structure, the rest becomes seamless. Now, if you found this video helpful, I want you to check out our video over here on why it's important to obtain permits for your 100-year-old home.